So Elon Musk has had some issues with racism and white supremacy for a while now. This was back in February, where Elon Musk was calling US media and schools racist against whites and Asians, which is kind of like a right-wing darling issue there. It's like, oh, affirmative action is racist against whites and Asians. And, you know, that's a whole issue to unpack on its own. But that was back in February, right? So we're already, it's okay, baby. She literally just woke up and she's just like, let's go on a freaking walk. It's okay, we'll go in a second. He came out in support of Scott Adams, the creator of Dilbert, who just really fell off the deep end. Let's see some choice tweets here. Who is going to tell single white Democrat women how much they owe in reparations to Black Americans? There will be no reparations. Which, I mean, just the vibe alone on that tweet sounds racist to me. I don't know, man. Elon Musk is like the one guy defending this Dilbert dude. You know, stuff is starting to mount up, but the other day we had the tweet, the kind of like big kahuna. He took the mask off. Like this dude went full white supremacist. Or I mean, he didn't take the mask off. He put the hood on. Is a better way of saying it. And I usually don't keep up with this shit, right? But I saw this on my timeline and I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Subscribe to Zuby, which is another kind of like right-wing adjacent figure, I'd say. So, I mean, pretty clear where his alliances lie, right? And that's kind of why he's pissing off so many people. I mean, he used to be this kind of like techno-democratic figure, you know, with Tesla, like, oh, we're going to save the world with electric cars. And now he's just like tweeting out like racist shit. So, probably not. Okay, here's another one. Fertility rate keeps dropping in the Nordic countries. I guess gender parity, welfare state, and public childcare is not the solution to the fertility crisis. So, are right-wingers alleging that basic social democratic policies are causing a fucking collapse in in the population. And Elon Musk supporting it, population collapse. He's like a hardcore fucking capitalist, and he's like unabashed about it. And this guy is like built like a fucking absolute gremlin, man. I don't want to subject you guys to see him, but there's a reason he only does headshots. Like, no wonder he's so like hateful and spiteful, you know? I mean, that's the way I see it. Dude, this guy does not stop tweeting, goddamn. Where the fuck is the tweet? Okay, here it is. A tweet from End Wokeness, talking about interracial violent crime incidents 2018, black on white being the highest, black on Hispanic down there, white on black almost the lowest, and then the cameraman, the media focusing on white on black exclusively. Odd. Why would the media misrepresent the real situation to such an extreme degree? And he has a few other tweets on this topic where his whole thing is like, oh, why is the media, you know, misrepresenting, you know, politics? Why is the media misrepresenting, you know, racism, whatever? We don't have a racism problem, basically. There's becoming like a real Trumpian figure, which honestly, as someone who hasn't kept up with Elon Musk at all, this is super fucking surprising. Like, I saw this and I was like, wait, what the fuck? This is just some mask off shit, bro. George Takei, neoliberal, whatever, with a good take, white on white, just absolutely fucking surpassing the bars. This is one of the things we're going to get into. This is actually like really fucking insidious propaganda, because it's not like a lie in that they're not like just absolutely fabricating the numbers. They are kind of, which we'll get to in a bit. But what they're doing is they're taking these points and making, you know, arguing for things that they don't prove. So one of the things they don't show here is, you know, same race crime, which just isn't on there. Kareem Carr, who it looks like, you know, they're a data scientist. Oh, let me verify. Let me like take 2 seconds to check the profile. Okay, PhD student at Harvard, looks like. This bar has attracted the attention of the richest man in the world. Let me walk you through how I would interpret it as a statistician. So yeah, first things first, this isn't like hate crimes or anything like that, right? This is just absolute interracial violence. That doesn't mean necessarily this is motivated by hate. So even just a quick glance at the DOJ website, right? Of the almost 10,000 known offenders in hate crimes motivated by racial hate, 52% were white, 21% were black, 16% were race unknown. Very, very important distinction where, you know, this graph, it makes you think interracial violent crime rates. If you don't look at it too closely, you think, oh, wow, look at how low hate crimes are, you know, white on black. Even, you know, the portrayal of white on black makes it seem like a hate crime. But I mean, this could have been some fucking white guy, like, robbing a black guy, you know, not caring that he's black. Like, come on now. So he goes on to ask, do we think that the primary cause of black on white crime in America is anti-white racism, or is it vastly more likely that it's because black Americans are disproportionately poor and white Americans are disproportionately rich? Again, we're not talking about hate crimes here. This is just all crime. He goes on to make another really solid point that framing all crime as a form of racial harm comes off as a white nationalist framing to me, and this presentation of the data leads the viewers down a merry path to white nationalist solutions. This is going to get so many people into that path of like white nationalism and just into that right-wing sphere. Elon Musk is committing such fucking tremendous harm by doing this, you know, especially on Twitter. There's so many people on Twitter that I swear have not seen the light of day in fucking years, you know? Prime candidates right there. Prime fucking candidates. This is particularly misleading because without context, it makes it seem as if black offenders are going out of their way to seek out white victims. But the overwhelming majority of Americans are white. So that's why black on white, Hispanic on white, everything on white is higher, because there's more fucking white people in this goddamn country, because this measures all crimes and not just hate crimes. God, this is horrible. And it's always these fucking like smart tech bros that are just like, oh, you know, facts over logic. Like, bro, you are a fucking buffoon. You are a literal NPC. If you take 2 seconds to think about this shit, you would not be racist. Literally. But like these people, it's crazy. They're literally just racist because they want to be, right? Like, and I get like his defense would be like, oh, it's not racism, you know, he's talking about the media. But ultimately what this aims to do is to delegitimize movements like BLM, right? Why else would this exist? It's to say like, oh, you know, that George Floyd shit, you know, white on black crime, you know, police brutality, whatever. It's not really an issue that matters, right? 100%. It's just meant to delegitimize movements for racial justice. That's it. All that shit about the media is just cover. Honestly, it's just a fucking cover. But these people are literally some of the dumbest motherfuckers that exist. And the problem is they have a shit ton of money. They have the money. They have the power. The evidence is there. The evidence is there. They just don't take 2 seconds to think about shit. And they just prefer to be racist. I don't know, man. It's hard. I don't get it. It's tough. And then missing context. Again, if they add same race crime, you see that white offenders cause more violent crime than every other group. Oh, look at that. White on white. That's crazy, bro. No one ever talks about the white on white violence. Goes on to other things. The common age for white Americans is 58. For black Americans, it's 27. There's more younger black people. You know, younger people commit more crimes. Poor people commit more crimes. It just goes on and on, brother. Fucking worst meme of 2023. This is horrible. Absolute dog shit. And when the most richest man on the goddamn planet, who thinks he's fucking Lex Luthor, is out here peddling this shit, we got a fucking problem.